you scared of everything? Have people told you before that you're paranoid, but you feel justified in your worry? Well, then this Christian romantic suspense series is perfect for you, because everyone is overprotective, overbearing, and insanely paranoid, and it is proven time and time again that they are entirely justified in their insanity. You know when you watch the news and there's just a bunch of stories of like just terrible things happening to people? They all happen in this town. All of the news that you see must be happening in this town because it is insane. Hilariously, in book 3, which is this one, they talk about the crime rate being low, which, like, sure, maybe there's not a lot of crimes, maybe there's not a lot of break-ins, but when there is a break-in, multiple people are getting kidnapped, at least one grandma is getting murdered, and on the way out, the criminals will shoot small girls in their bedrooms through the outside wall of the house, which seems like a structural issue for the house, but I don't know. I'm not kidding. All of these things happen in these 3 books. Actually, 1 per book, so that's nice. But seriously, I love romantic suspense. It's my favorite comfort mind candy. It usually has the loveliest found family, and I also really like that the drama in these is not like within the relationship. Usually I'm not a big fan of relationship drama, because I usually, if there's too much drama within the relationship, I kind of find it hard to root for the couple, because I'm like, well, I don't really believe in you guys like working this out. So that's why I really like romantic suspense, and I promise I really enjoyed these 3 books. Like, I'm gonna chuckle at it a bit, but I loved all these 3 books. These aren't the first 3 books I've read from this author, and at the end of this one there's a sneak peek for the next series, and I genuinely got excited. So this is all meant in a kind way. I love these, genuinely. But because I really enjoyed all 3, I am gonna tell you about all 3 books instead of just the last one. These are the books. But first we're gonna talk about the dress. I feel like all of the characters in these books could use some just calm and kind and soft things in their lives. So we are doing a nice sunny honey dress. That rhymes in a way I don't like. Whatever. Alright, yeah, I just wanted something calm and cute and friendly, and I thought sunshine yellow gingham and honey embroidery. I also just love a yoke dress, just shape-wise, and I really wanted to try out a longer skirt, so this is my attempt. It's not done as I'm filming this. I hope it's gonna turn out. I'm kind of supposed to finish it today, and I really haven't started much, so we'll see. Alright, we are gonna start with book 1, so I'm gonna switch here. Book 1 is Never Fall Again. This is my favorite of the series, and it is also book 1, so it makes sense to start with that. It's about Landry, who's raising her little daughter by herself after her abusive husband passed away, and she runs this little pottery shop and also pottery classes on the sort of premises of this very fancy resort, and she also lives on the resort grounds currently with her little daughter. Side note, everyone in these books has very specific, very strange hobbies. So for example, our love interest in this one, his name is Cal. Cal electrocutes wood and makes things out of that. But even weirder, his cousin, Meredith, main lady in this book, she makes wooden flower bouquets, and I still have no clue what that's supposed to look like. I've come up with some like things that the internet came up with, but none of them really make sense to me. And also at one point, she gets a commission, even though she's a dentist, so she does this on the side. She has a full dentist job. She gets a commission to make enough flower bouquets for a whole wedding party, and I don't know what that looks like. I don't know how quickly she can get these done. I don't know how, I don't know. Anyways, but Cal, electrocuting wood guy, he is supposed to build Landry's house. He's a contractor. But then when she is at his office to like talk about the house, he gets a phone call, which is strange that he gets it, but whatever. He gets a phone call and finds out that her pottery shop got burned down, and after that he just gets very invested in keeping her and her daughter safe, and it's very cute, genuinely. I really liked it. I read this so quickly. I thought it was lovely. I mean, it made me buy 2 more books. One caveat, there's a full 2-chapter stretch where Landry and her daughter have strep throat, and as not fun as it must be to have strep throat, I thought it was also not very fun to read about someone having strep throat. I mean, it's kind of cute that he like cares for them, but yeah, I don't know. I didn't really like reading about someone who's sick. I, however, think the found family, this is very cute. There's a lot of characters to keep track of, but that's okay. But I really liked Cal. I really liked how much he like stepped up, and I thought it was very sweet. I really liked it. Also, Landry's had some bad experiences with church people, and I thought that was an interesting one to take apart. Alright, book number 2. Now this is where the paranoia really takes off. Alright, so first, just the general plot. Meredith is, as I said, a dentist, and she has this like mobile clinic in a van that she drives around to less fortunate communities, and she gives them dental care, which is lovely. But through that, she gets in contact with some people that are not very good, and Gray is there to protect her. Gray is the love interest. He's also the police chief of the town. But okay, let me tell you about the most just like what is happening scene in I think this whole series. At the very beginning of this, Meredith's car breaks down. Nothing bad has happened yet. She just has a flat tire. Turns out later that her tires were slashed, but we don't know this yet. This is the first bad thing that happened. Like, truly, there's no way of suggesting this is like anything malicious. Just because this woman is out of town and has a flat tire, every man in town loses their mind. Like, just they all go nuts. I need you to know that she is 10 miles out of town. She's just, actually it might be less. I don't know about miles and kilometers. For some reason I remember 10 miles. Might be 10 miles, might be less. She's definitely, like, she is, you know, close. It is daytime. She was just at some grandma helping her with her teeth and eating cookies. I mean, truly it's daytime. It's bright outside. Like, there's no suggestion of any danger. But the police chief, Gray, who at this point is a mere acquaintance, maybe friend, but definitely not like a man involved in her life and her, you know, comings and goings, noticed an hour ago that her van was not in front of her door and has been looking for her. Also, where she is outside of like his jurisdiction, so he has no business being there, and for some reason it just gets brushed over that he's like searching for her, which is weird. Like, no one's reported her missing or anything. She's been gone for an hour longer than anyone, you know, like, you know, it's whatever. So he pretty immediately shows up. He finds her pretty quickly, so she doesn't have to be stuck out there for long, which I guess is nice. But then the truly insane just phone tree of just paranoia starts. At first, our police chief, Gray, calls another police officer because clearly a woman with a flat tire is not a one-man job. Then her brother Mo, who is the love interest in book number 3, so remember him, who has been listening to the police radio, which, side note, is that legal? Like, are you just allowed to do that? I don't know. But yeah, he's been listening to the police radio and immediately shows up as well, because now he knows where she is as well. For that reason, I feel like that should be illegal, because, like, are people just supposed to know where everyone is? But, you know, whatever. Mo, has also already called Cal, love interest in this book, who is Meredith's and Mo's cousin, who is now on the phone with Gray. So Cal is on the phone with Gray after Mo called him. So he's on the phone with the police chief talking about what happened with Meredith, which makes no sense because, like, that's her cousin. He has no, like, the police chief should not be telling him this. Like, he is family, but extended family. Like, I don't think anyone from the police would, like, be on the phone chatting with my cousin if my car broke down. But yeah, he is also all over this already. And Meredith is being called by Landry, main girl in this book, and Bronwyn, main girl in the last book, for some reason, asking, like, frantically, oh my gosh, is everything alright? And then, after talking to seemingly everyone in town, Meredith drives back home, and her dad is there, who has also been listening to the police radio. Again, what are these men doing? And tells her, no more going out of town, young lady. No more leaving the county, young lady. She is 32, a dentist, and also she had a flat tire. Like, she didn't get herself into some bad situation. She went to visit someone who needed dental care. Like, this was just her job. But then again, the way things are going in this town, I understand that everyone's paranoid. It's just a little much. Anyways, the love story is still cute. I did prefer book 1, but it was adorable still. Now, our last switch. Everything's alright. Book 3 is about Mo, our avid police radio listener, and ow, those were her claws in my leg. I think she's also actively ripping my tights right now. May I move this little paw? I'm sorry to inconvenience you. Alright, so book 3 is about Mo, police radio listener, and Bronwyn, who is in charge of the resort that Landry's pottery shop was connected to. Everyone in this book is really on edge now, paranoia-wise, because of what happened in the, you know, last, like, year of their lives, which I understand. But Bronwyn has just a hunch that someone might want to do her harm, and everyone goes absolutely insane. Like, they are not leaving her alone for 1 second in this book. You alright there? Would you like a small snack? A small snack for the young woman? Well, you're so gentle. Like, if everyone around me acted that way every time I got worried about something, I would be living in, like, a doomsday bunker by now. It is a lot. At one point, Bronwyn goes for a run, and she gets hit on by this guy. He just, like, meets her on the running path and just, like, hits on her and is, like, a tad, like, meh about it, but it's like, not, like, anything really, really bad. It's just like, I wouldn't go for that either. But then at the end of the run, when she's almost home, she realizes that Mo has been shadowing her, like running after her the whole run. Not trying to catch up to her, just like watching. And she's like, ugh, why can't all men be like Mo, you know, respectfully stalking me while I go for a run and, you know, not interrupting my run? It's like, ma'am, you've got a stalker. Like, that is insanity. He's her ex, and she hasn't talked to him since they were teenagers. Like, I mean, he's, like, been around in the last, like, week to make sure that she's alright. Are you watching your snacks? But she still hasn't spoken to him. Like, this was not communicated that he would be running after her. This is insanity. I gotta show you what this girl's doing here. Like, girl, what are we up to? Why are you looking down here? What is up? Spoiler warning for a few seconds here. It's really not going to take long, but I'm just going to tell you about one plot point that comes up later. So if you want to read the book, which I had a lot of fun reading this, here's the timestamp. I found the premise of this book the most interesting out of all three. So Bronwyn and Mo were childhood sweethearts, but then Bronwyn gets sort of like drawn in by this absolute creep that stays at her parents' at that time. It's her parents in charge of the resort, at her parents' resort, and he takes her to Hollywood. Nothing good happens in Hollywood, and her family is no help. And as it later turns out, this is the spoiler. Sorry, we had to rearrange ourselves here. And it turns out later, this is the spoiler, that her family was blackmailing this predator's brother because the brother is a senator running for president. I thought that was really interesting, both the actual plot with all the blackmail and the senator and stuff, and also the just emotional of sort of Mo and Bronwyn dealing with the fact that this happened. But sadly, the thing with the senator didn't get revealed until the very end. And the emotional thing with Bronwyn and Mo, it just didn't get really like brought up a lot. And I think that's because the author thought it was like too much to be on page. And I did not want like on page scenes from Hollywood. Like I don't want to see all that, but I would have wanted Bronwyn and Mo to talk about it because I think Bronwyn really needed to talk about it. And also, so I think the reason why it wasn't on page is because it was deemed like too much to be on page, especially in like a Christian novel. However, at one point we get like they almost talk about it, but then Bronwyn says, "Oh, I know it makes you mad to talk about it," and Mo's like, "Yeah, I get mad at this guy, but like not at you," which is something. But also it kind of seems like Mo, you know, is like keeping her from talking about it, even though she would need to talk about it to like get over it well. And I think that's just like a really, I don't know, it just makes him seem very chicken. Also, how can this topic be too much when, again, grandma is getting stabbed and some little girl is getting shot in her bedroom? I just think it kind of sends the message of like what happened to Bronwyn being like sinful in some way and like taboo to talk about. And while I don't think that's the intention of the author, like it seems very clear that she feels for Bronwyn. Like there's no blaming Bronwyn at all. Anyone that even like hints at blaming Bronwyn is like clearly seen as very wrong in the book. However, I think it's still kind of a terrible message to send, and I think it does kind of like seem like it, but that might just be me. But anyways, other than that, I am just noticing I'm not a big, like, second chance romance girl. I don't care for flashbacks. I really have to try to not skim them. My initial reaction is always to skim them. And I don't care about people holding grudges when they know they really care about someone and, like, I don't know. Like, obviously someone needs to show they can, like, change if they really hurt you. But then you just gotta decide, like, okay, am I gonna let this go and forgive them and, like, do I want this relationship or not? And then just, like, I don't know, I just think the back and forth is kind of annoying. Obviously bad feelings are going to come up, but I need you to like have the baseline of like, okay, I'm going to trust this person or not. Like I'm going to have to like need you to figure that out because otherwise I just have no faith in this relationship working out. These guys also, they didn't talk directly to each other for like more than 50% of the book. I think more than that too. Like, which one doesn't really lend itself to much like romance, and also just was kind of childish. Like, they kept being in the room with each other, and Bronwyn kept being like to someone else. So if like Meredith, Bronwyn, Mo were in one room, Bronwyn didn't want to talk to Mo. She hadn't talked to him for like over a decade, and so she kept being like, Meredith, please tell Mo, or something like that, which is just like, are you children? You are 30. Get over it. I mean, the fact that Mo wants to keep her alive and is so like protective is nice, but it's not enough for me to root for the relationship. But I still liked reading it. I liked finishing the series. And yeah, anyways, I genuinely enjoyed these. They're my little comfort brain candy, and I love talking about them. My glasses are slipping. There we are. And now I hope I have the dress done. Do you have anything to say, Lady M? Thank you. Alright, see you. Alright, here is the dress. I feel like a princess. A little bee princess, I guess. I don't like bees, but I think they're cute. Like, I just don't want them on me. Anyways, not really selling the dress here. I really love this. I love how wide the skirt is. And I think it is a very sunshiny, everything's cozy and nice dress. Let me show you the embroidery. Let me take the cross out of the way. Little bees and honey. And on the back as well. I hope it's all the way closed. My husband closed it. I can't see it. Looks closed. I'm really pleased. Anyways, I hope you liked the video. I hope you liked the dress. I hope you maybe pick up the book if you want a cozy, just sort of like fun read. And I will see you next week, friend.